My sisters, they say hypersexualized. So I think they said the meaning of hypersexualized is sexual or erotic to an excessive or inappropriate degree. Yeah, some of our sisters may be hypersexualized. But as I always say and I always come back to, there's other cultures that do the same exact thing. If you go on any of these sites, whether it's OnlyFans or any of the corn sites, majority of the women on there are not our sisters. Majority of those women on there are all these other women. But yet what happens is our women get that stigma. They get that label. And the only thing I can think part of that comes from is because you have hip hop music. And hip hop is such a dominant culture that you equate that's what all of our sisters do. And that's simply not the case. Our sisters have the same problems that any of these other cultures have. Whether it is being at becoming of a certain age and they're starting to display and show certain features, and men speak more on those features. Not men. Men, yes, men too. But boys start speaking and pointing out those features. Other women go through that same type of thing. Whether people want to, equate that to a lack of fatherhood being in the household. There's other cultures that go through the same exact thing. So I have a problem with folks constantly want to label our sisters with these descriptive terms as if they are the only ones that show this type of behavior. What it is more importantly is just the fact that there is a dislike. There's a dislike for our sisters because some of the same things that our sisters have been naturally built with, all these other women have to falsely build themselves with. The way that our own men treat our own women gives carte blanche. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the word. Carte blanche for all these other men and women to speak about our women. So that's a problem. That's a problem for me. Now, speaking to my sisters who look at some of these people that they consider their role model, there's a lot of trouble that comes with that. And they experience it and they know it. You walk out into the streets and you dress a certain way, then you know what type of attention you're going to get. The unwanted attention. And there's no way of being selective about how people respond to you. There's no way of changing that. You can't dictate that at all. So for my sisters who don't want that unwanted attention of folks that want to be aggressive and speak to you a certain way, unfortunately, we're in that society where that is what it is. We don't have a bunch of men who have discipline and are respectful. We don't have that. But the other thing that I want to speak about to my sisters are my sisters that are maybe lacking that love and that attention. And they're doing it because of that. They're doing it because of that they have that lack of attention and love. And they think that that's the way that they're going to receive it. That becomes a problem too. Because the one thing that happens out in this world, there's a bunch of vultures out there on both sides. men and women, who are looking for somebody who's wounded. And when they find a wounded person, oh, then you pray. And they will do whatever they need to do to try to capture that prey and lead you astray. And that's the one thing that you got to protect yourself from. There's so many different things out here that our sisters get caught up in. The trafficking, the being drugged, being kidnapped, all kind of crazy stuff that goes on out here. And so it may appear that it's fun. It may appear that it's exciting. Your friends may, seem edge you on to try to do that, but it's always dangerous. It's always dangerous. Now, I'm not talking about my sisters wanting to dress when you're out in a club, in different environments, that maybe you're, dressing a little bit more sexier, when maybe you're around a bunch of friends, maybe a guy that you're out and about to a private, gathering or something like that. That's fine. I'm always a person that talks about a time and place for things. If you go do it there. But I think that if you come outside and you go to Walmart and you are wearing this sexy gear, for one, yeah, I think that that's inappropriate, because you got kids around there, you got elders around there, and it's a public space. And when you go to Walmart, you're not going to see folks dressing like that. And so it brings unwanted attention. It brings the critique. And, unfortunately, folks are going to label you, and they're going to put that stigma on you, that that's what they feel you are. Even though you may not be, you just want to maybe express yourself. But again, try to look at expressing yourself in the areas, in the arenas where that is a little bit more accepted. I think that there is a self-worth aspect to certain behaviors. And that's something that some of our sisters may have a deficit with. But again, it's all other cultures the same exact way. But I would hope that our sisters would be able to have discernment and understand that you can be that way. You can be that way. Sexy, erotic, whatever it is, you can be that way. Just be mindful of where you do it, when you do it, and understand that there are consequences depending on where you're at and where you tend to do this at. All of the other stuff as it relates to how people view our sisters in that aspect. Again, the majority of all of these websites, you're not going to see sisters on these websites. And the funny thing about it is that the sisters do these same things, and none of them get promoted like all these other cultures. None of them make the money that these other cultures make. But they're denigrated about how they look. The one girl who they said just made 43 million or something on OnlyFans. You're not finding no sisters making no kind of money like that. At all. Unfortunately, because we live in a different kind of society. So understand that. Understand that you don't look at yourself and take those terms of hypersexualize and apply it only to yourself. I got some animals out here, but anyway, applying it solely to yourself. Understand that there's other cultures out here. Understand that it is a double standard. It surely is, because you're going to be looked at and frowned upon more than anybody else. But I'm looking out for your safety. I'm looking out for you to be able to have discernment. Let the rappers, if they're going to do what they're going to do, that's what it is. It's entertainment if that's what they're going to do. Do I agree with a lot of that stuff? Maybe not so much. But I know that it's a style. I know that it's a culture. I know it's something that influences the world. And even grown women do the same exact thing from these other cultures. Grown women do the same exact thing, and they do what these women that they talk about are hypersexualized. They do the same exact thing. It's a double standard. We know that. But let's have some discernment. Let's do it at the right time in the right place, where you know that you can protect yourself. Start working on yourself, your confidence, your self-worth. If you do lack in love and care and you think that, or attention, and you think that that's what you have to do in order to receive it, let's work on those things, man. All right? I'm going to catch you on the next note. Peace out.